Hi, I'm attorney Sean Mays, and today I'm going to talk about 5 alternatives to mortgage foreclosure. So if we've never met, my name is Sean Mays. I'm a Pennsylvania attorney, and I help people deal with debt and debt issues like mortgage foreclosures. Today we're going to be talking about 5 common alternatives to foreclosure. If you have any comments, feel free to leave those below, and let's get started. So the first alternative to mortgage foreclosure, and probably the most common, is a loan modification. And simply put, what a loan modification is it's an agreement to change the terms of a mortgage without actually getting a new mortgage. It's not a refinance. So because it's not a refinance, it doesn't have to comply with a lot of the laws like the Truth in Lending Act related to mortgage origination. It simply allows a mortgage lender to extend a term, lower interest rate, or change other terms which might help a homeowner deal with unforeseen financial circumstances. Under federal regulations, almost every servicer out there has to review you for a mortgage modification. There's all types of programs, and there's a lot of free help out there to help you apply. And actually, most mortgage servicers now even have very easy online portals to help you apply. It's not super complicated. You don't need to pay a lot of money to anybody to help you with that. You can check with your mortgage lender, and you can also check with any number of HUD-approved housing counselors in the area. If you're looking for a housing counselor and can't find one, feel free to call my office, and I can point you in the right direction of a housing counselor that can help you apply. The second alternative to a foreclosure would be a short sale. Now, a short sale is an option that you want to consider, frankly, if you do not want to keep the house. And it's really appropriate when you are underwater, meaning you have no equity in the home. A short sale asks the bank to forgive a little bit of the loan balance so that you can sell the property and not be liable for the difference. One thing that can occur in a mortgage foreclosure is typically you see a lot of instances where people get a low money down mortgage, or if the property values have been pretty unfavorable, if they've declined, people can actually have negative equity in their property. When that happens, it becomes impossible to sell your home because you can't afford to pay off the mortgage. So one way to deal with that is through a short sale. And in a short sale, you apply with your mortgage lender. Your mortgage lender, typically, if it's in their own interest, will agree to forgive a little bit off the loan balance so that the house can sell and the mortgage can be satisfied. Probably the biggest advantage of this is that it completely satisfies the mortgage balance without having to go through a foreclosure. And it typically, a mortgage lender, when they do go through a short sale, they'll agree not to sue you personally for any kind of deficiency. The third option, or the third alternative to a foreclosure, would be a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Very similar to a short sale in that, in this alternative, you would not be keeping the house. A deed in lieu of foreclosure is simply an agreement to deed the property to the bank so that the bank can skip the foreclosure process and proceed to sell the house and satisfy the mortgage. How would this be beneficial? Typically, in the deed in lieu of foreclosure process, a lender will agree not to sue a borrower personally for any kind of deficiency. So once again, if the property is underwater and the mortgage balance is significantly higher than the value of the property, in a deed in lieu of foreclosure agreement, in most instances, and in every instance that I've seen, the bank will agree not to go against the borrower for the deficiency or the difference in the value of the home and the mortgage. Once again, that's an option you really would only consider if you're not going to keep the home or you don't want to keep the home. The fourth option to a foreclosure would be forbearance. Forbearance is simply an agreement with the lender to allow you to miss a certain number of payments, allow you to get back on your feet, and then start paying the mortgage again. It differs from a mortgage modification in that you're not actually changing the terms of a mortgage. The mortgage company is just simply allowing you to miss a few payments. This is not a real common option, mainly because it requires you to be able to get back on your feet fairly quickly. Also, if you have a high interest rate, if you have a high mortgage payment, sometimes a modification is preferable, because if you have suffered any kind of a loss of income or other circumstances that cause you to get behind on your mortgage, a forbearance is typically not as good of an alternative, because it requires you to, at some point, to come up with all those missed payments. A mortgage modification would not do that. And finally, the last option that we talk about today is bankruptcy. A lot of people, misunderstand bankruptcy and what it is and how it can help homeowners. A bankruptcy can help people catch up on missed payments like a forbearance, but it can do it over a very long period of time and without accruing additional late fees, penalties, and interest. In a bankruptcy, in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, a homeowner can file a plan with the court to make up missed payments, and make up those payments over a period of up to 5 years without accruing a lot of new fees and charges. So if you've suffered temporary setbacks, like a loss of income, and you want to get back on your feet, a bankruptcy can be a good way to do that, and get back on your feet, fully cure your mortgage arrears, and do it without the debt growing out of control. So once again, my name is Sean Mays. I'm a debt attorney here in Pennsylvania. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those below, and thanks for watching.